Hi everybody. I just wanted to give like a channel update as to like what's been going on with me and what my disappearance and everything. Um, Basically, it just comes down to the fact that I barely have time to do anything anymore. I never have like any personal time to myself. It's kind of hard to record. For instance, when you got a child running in and out of the room and you can't do nothing about it, and then I'm pretty much a loud person by default. I'm very tone deaf. I can't tell how like loud or quiet I am. So whenever she goes to bed, it's kind of hard to do any of that. On top of that, I work a lot and I have other activities I do as well, and it's just kind of disappointing that I can ever, have the time to do what I gotta do. But it is what it is, right? The other things that's happened to me this year is I finally went to a doctor, and my dad almost died this year. So let's just start off with that. My dad almost died. Uh, he has a blood disease called factor five linein, and it's basically you can get blood clots very easily from standing still for too long, sitting down for too long, just getting injured very slightly. My dad basically was in the backyard. He fell down. Not too bad. He just fell down casually, and then he realized there was something wrong with him. His leg was just getting weird, and his boss wouldn't let him off work. Well, he finally went to the doctor, and it turns out he had a shit ton of blood clots making their way up to his heart. So he thought he was gonna die. I thought he was gonna die, and like I've never actually been really close to my dad. I've had a lot of issues with my father. I wouldn't say like daddy issues or whatever the fuck some retard would say, but it's more of like I don't have a good relationship with him, so I just kind of forget that he's a person, he exists. But it kind of hit me home that he was gonna possibly die because like I live in California, I have nothing out here. Like I have no friends, I have nothing. Everyone I know and love is back out in Texas. I'm out here by myself, so like I have some family out here, yeah, but like I don't know, like we're not super close. It is what it is. Can't really do anything about it. The lighting here makes me look so pale, bro. Like, good God. But, anyways, he nearly died. They had to do a lot of blood thinners and do a little bit of surgery on him to, save him. And it got me a little curious, and so I went and had myself checked out. I found out some things about myself that I didn't know. Number one, I also have factor 5. It is apparently hereditary. My daughter is more than likely going to have factor 5 as well. It is a hereditary blood disease. However, for her, since she's so young, my hematologist told me that I shouldn't worry about her being checked out because she's so young. Kids are very active, crazy active. They don't sit around as often or as much as adults do. So, realistically, I don't have to have her worried or checked out until she's about 18. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine. I get that. So, hey, there's that. But as for me, I have it. So I sit down a lot when I get home, and I can't do that anymore. When I'm at work, I can't stand still for too long. So I have to like take a little break sitting down or walking around. It's just basically just God's way of just pointing at me and trying to kill me off. So there's a good chance I can die from this. On top of this, I also found out my cholesterol level is 3 times what a normal person should be at my age. Like I'm in the danger zone, basically. So I'm very prone to like having a heart attack at any point, which I'm just like, huh. So because of that, I've been kind of just like I don't care about anything anymore. Like my life has just been not as good as it should have been, I feel. And a lot of that's my own fault. I've made a lot of dumb mistakes in my life. I've made a lot of like bad decisions and not to reap what I sow, and I have to constantly torment myself and reflect off of that all the time, and it is what it is. I've apologized for pretty much everything that I can, and when it's my time to go, it's my time to go. When it's my time to go, it'll be my time to go. It just really sucks because everyone that I care about out in Texas, they're not going to know about me being dead for probably a couple weeks when it comes down to that. If I was to die of a heart attack right now, they're not going to know about it for a while because I don't really know anybody that would talk to them or tell them. Like, it is what it is. I just be gone. My daughter's too young. She doesn't really know anybody out there, anyways. So there's that. I've also been experimenting with music. I've had a lot of like built up emotion that I haven't really been able to express properly. Antisocial personality disorder. Like I'm just kind of like this all the time, while inside I don't really feel like that, and I don't know how to represent emotion accurately. So I don't know. I don't know how to like my version of depression's probably very different than someone else. Like I'm not like crying or cutting or doing the late night drive on the highway. Like I'm not doing any of that. I'm just kind of like whatever. I feel apathetic. I don't feel like doing anything. So but anyways, I started making music. I've made a couple albums already. I have two different music projects I'm working on. One is the Electric Undead, which is my virtual band. Think of the gorillas without the virtual part because I don't know how to animate. But I have made a lot. All my lyrics are mine. Like the music, everything is just orchestrated for me. I'm the one that designed how it's gonna sound. Uh, just the lyrics, everything's me. Like this isn't like stolen or anything. And the other one is a music group. Just it's all instrumental, but it's called BazzbeTV. Like, hey, I'm BazzbeTV. That's my internet persona. Um, I just called it BazzbeTV, and I've already got an album called The Dark Ones. I love the album. It's really good. I might upload the whole thing on here. I don't know yet. The other albums I'm working on for BazzbeTV is a conspiracy album, which is every song is just like a different conspiracy. And then I have another one called the Electric Universe Theory, which is I've been working on that one for like a year, right about a year, and I just haven't gotten around to finishing it because I just don't have the time. But I have everything written down on sticky notes here, so we're still working on it. The Electric Undead, I've already got two albums complete. I am working on a third and fourth album side by side. Both of them are going to be different. The third one's going to be more like emo, alternative, pop punk. The fourth one's going to be more of like synthwave, dark wave, gothic metal. All the singing all sounds the same. It's still like the same singer. I made a singer based off of a couple different people. One was Amy Lee. One is my dear friend Jordan. She likes to sing, so I used her voice as inspiration, mixed in with like a couple other female artists to generate a female artist that I call Ellie Graves, which is just like a pun on like Electric Undead. So so that's been happening. I'm working a lot. I have a lot going on. I survived the LA fires. That was a couple months ago. It was about a mile away from my house. I have a video of it. I don't know if I've ever uploaded it anywhere, but I have a video on my phone of the fire, like right down the road on the mountain. Like I walk on my front porch, and I'm just like, oh, there's the fire. And then there was the LA protest, which I was just kind of like, this shit's funded. It's very clearly being funded by somebody, which once the IRS got involved, and suddenly that shit dispersed really quick, and we don't talk about it no more. It's kind of the craziest damnedest thing, right? My shitty ass governor is just kind of like making LA worse, than I don't know. I'm so sick of California, bro. But yeah, I have all that happening. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to get healthy and make my life a little bit more manageable so I don't die, because I really feel like I'm going to be dead in the next couple of years, like all jokes aside, and I don't really know what to do about that because I don't have the time to go work out and hit the gym like I've been wanting to. I've had this all planned out in my head for a while, and like I'm not like I don't know, like on camera I feel like I look like fucking obese and fat, but I'm not. It's just the camera position. And I noticed that when I was filming in the car doing a live stream, like yesterday or something, like a day or so, I don't remember. Like I felt in the footage, I looked like I was just like a fucking big ass man in the car. But I don't really look like that. That's the thing. I'm a little chubby, yeah. I'm not really doing anything with myself, but I'm not like obese or anything. I mean, but medically speaking, maybe. I guess you could say that, but come on. I don't know. I'm definitely not as skinny as I was. I used to be a size medium for a long time. I'd say I'm about a XL. XL is about as big as I am. So I don't know. I need to lose weight and like focus on my health. It just I don't have the drive. I don't feel like there's any meaning in my life anymore. No, I was just actually talking to this person. Maybe she'll see this. I don't know. But somebody I really care about likes to pop into my life every so often, and I don't know. It kind of just reminds me that there is still some kind of like remnants of a human being still left in here. But it makes me sad at the same time because of like what I feel like life should have been. Like I have no doubt that that should have been the person I married. She married someone else, so like whatever. But that should have been who I married, and because of that, I feel like it's interrupted every single relationship I've had. And this is whether or not this person's in my life or not, because me and her talked, and she said like, oh, well, maybe it'd be best if I don't contact her or whatever. I don't want that to happen. I think it's good that we at least still talk at times. I believe very firmly you should still like communicate in some degree with an ex. That whole like, oh, you just cut them out of your life forever. That just creates trauma. That just creates unfinished things. And I feel like it's not healthy mentally for people. But I know a lot of people just want to do that, move on to the next thing. I feel like because me and this person split ways, it's really impacted my view on like every other woman I've ever been with. You kind of just, I don't know. You always end up comparing, and I've made the comment that out of every girl I've ever been with, and I've dated a lot of women, I've been with a lot of women. Maybe a lot of that comes into the fact that I haven't like gotten over this, and I know a lot of people are like, just get over it, man. It was like high school. I don't know, like I can't, dude. I can't shake it off me. It just won't go away. It's just that constant reminder of what should have been, and I still stand on that. Like you can talk about soulmates. This is who I think is my soulmate. Is what it is. She's happy with someone else. Like whatever. Can't fight it. Can't change it. I don't want to like interrupt that. Like a younger, more immature version of me from like over 10 years ago, I would have been like trying to pry that relationship apart so I could benefit me in any capacity, because that's kind of the person I was. I'm not like that anymore. I would never consider doing such a thing. It's just more of like I'm going to talk about how I feel, and maybe that I shouldn't be doing that, but I feel like it's good for me to do it because I never get to talk about this stuff. So and none of my friends give a shit. Like I went through hell for 10, 15 years after me and her split ways. Yeah, it's been 15 years as of last week. That's crazy. Or last month, I should say, but that's crazy. It's been 15 years. And my life was just like in constant turmoil. And I felt like I was going nowhere and spiraling and just making the worst decisions and everything with myself ever since then. Nobody cared. I'm a guy. Like everyone just tells me to quit talking about it or just deal with it. And I'm just kind of like, okay, well, guess what? I apparently never dealt with it. It is what it is. Like nobody cares. I'm a guy. Like if I was to die, like nobody gives a shit. That's just kind of how this is. Maybe I'm being dramatic. Of course, I don't know. It's not like I speak to everybody every single day. So, like I said, if anything was to happen to me, if I was to die from a heart attack in the next day, everyone out in Texas would be like a long time before any of my friends or whatever would even find out. It's not like I upload videos constantly anymore anyway, so who knows. But anyways, that's just me. That's all I have for you. Nothing outside of this has really been any different. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, I guess. I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.